Welcome back, my young Padawans, to Plus the Mads and our thoughts on part 6 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. We've made it. We have made it to the finale. Oh, I knew it was going to go quick, and it's gone quick. Oh, what a way to close the series as a whole. Because if we all remember, this obviously was pitched to us as a limited series, and it was designed to have like a beginning, a middle, and end. And we've got, and if you now go back and watch the whole series as a full, you do get that. Because for me, parts 1, 2 are kind of your beginning, parts 3, 4, and 5 are your middle, and this part we're going to do today, part 6, is your end. But of course, the problem with limited series, as always, as we discussed with Big Little Lies, is you may want to publish it as a limited series, you may want to advertise a limited series, but the fans do then want more. So, we live in hope. We live in hope. We live in hope that this might not be the last we get to see of Obi-Wan. But but as I was watching it, and I'll get more to it in detail, as I was watching it, I was thinking, well, if this is it, well then it's wrapped up nice and neatly. Very neatly. Because, oh my god, we barely had any time to pick up our jaws from all the shocks and revelations and the heartbreak from part 5. We just went straight in and pretty much setting up the two sort of main storylines for this far apart. You've got Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, and you've got Reva on, right, let's see if I can pronounce it correctly, because I don't think I've ever pronounced it correctly, Tatooine. I always get its pronunciation wrong, I always do. And the two of them, and the way the two of them eventually collide together is absolutely brilliant. So, who do we do first? Because do we do Obi-Wan first? Or do we do Reva first? I think we need to do Obi-Wan first. Because even though we start the episode with Reva arriving on Tatooine and eventually finds where obviously Owen, Beru, and Luke are, I'm going to do Obi-Wan first. I'm going to do his bit first. So, the Empire slowly pursues also the Path Network, as I mentioned at the end of last episode. Their shit's badly damaged, their hyperdrive's not working, need time to fix it. So, Obi-Wan comes up with the brilliant idea of, well, and he's mentioned it several times now in the series, like, whenever he's been in the group, he's like, Vader wants me. He wants me, so let me, on my own, go deal with him. And it's only now, here in the finale, part 6, where he actually finally bulks with the courage to actually, you know what? Stuff it, I'm gonna go on my own. Despite the pleas of everyone, including Leia, who really does behave like a 10-year-old at this point, you know, it's like, Leia, for the most of it, has to actually act more than her age. And of course, we had that brilliant line part 2 where everyone goes, you don't sound like you're a 10-year-old. Well, here she does sound like one. It's like, no, don't again, well, so it basically behaves exactly like a 10-year-old should. Screaming and hoping they'll get their way. But of course, nope. No, Leila. He's going. It does take a bit of convincing, but eventually Obi-Wan is able to convince the Lord, right, well, I'm going to go. And he heads off. And here is where we see the Grand Inquisitor being just useless. And so obviously, back on the Empire shit, you know, got Vader there, you got the Grand Inquisitor there, who of course is not dead. He may not be dead, but clearly playing dead has affected his mind. Because if we go back to part 2, when the Inquisitors arrive on the scene, basically to clean up Reva's mess, he's like saying to people, you know, be wary here, you know, Kenobi's not just any Jedi. Well, here we are then, fast forward into part 6, and he's basically saying, Lord Vader here, no, I don't think we need to go after Kenobi, I think we should just stay on course and wipe out the path. Wipe them out now. And yet, Vader's like, no, I'm going after him. Like that. So it's like, Has the Grand Inquisitor been playing dead for too long? Because it's like, has he now forgotten the importance of Obi-Wan Kenobi here? It's like, what was the point? What was the point of bringing the Grand Inquisitor back if he's just going to act now dumb? I'd rather he just stay pretend dead. But of course, that's not going to happen! Of course! Don't you dare come at me, you canon nerds. Don't come at me, right? Of course. That can't happen, because apparently he does have to live on. Okay, but I'm just thinking, would it not be just better the Grand Inquisitor just maybe just stay pretend dead, or be sent on his way to wherever he needs to be in terms of the timeline of the canon? You know, he was just pointless in this episode. What was he there for? Absolutely pointless. What a waste. So you've got Vader goes off, and meets with Kenobi, and they do get into another a really intense. Do we know what the planet was? Because they basically have this standoff on some nearby planet. Did we ever get its name? I'm not sure we got its name. So it was just some nearby planet. It was very dark. I found a lot of the things in this episode was quite hard to see because it was quite very, very dark. So it's just some nearby planet. The two of them basically get into a bit of a brawl, and we have another epic lightsaber duel. Well, you try and name me one lightsaber duel in Star Wars that has not been impressive. Now, as I was watching the duel play out, and when Vader gets the upper hand, I thought, oh, that's so lame. I was thinking, well, even if I didn't know where these two ended up, I would just watch that thinking, oh god, that's so lame. No way would Obi-Wan Kenobi be defeated by literally being, buried alive by a bunch of boulders. I just thought, well, Vader's having a lot of fun bringing one boulder after another up, but I'm just thinking, that's so lame, and that would be a rubbish death. Even if this did not have repercussions, and there wasn't going to be, and these two didn't have a place afterwards, you just would think, well, that's so lame. And even though it is sort of lame, because obviously you know that these two will survive, it just felt a bit lame. So thank God everyone didn't stay buried for too long, because I just was thinking, well, that would have been really lame. Would have been absolutely ridiculous. And so draw kicks up again. And eventually, it gets gruesome. Because eventually Obi-Wan then gets the upper hand and manages to wound Vader, incapacitate him, damage his helmet, which ends up splitting in half. And that was quite gruesome. That was quite gruesome to watch, because you had one half of the helmet still on, the other half was basically damaged. You see, that was a bit too far. He managed to stomach it. He will basically realise this is quite a hard scene to watch. Not because of the gruesomeness, but because of the fact that, basically, because Obi-Wan still feels a part acting left in baby, still feels a little part in left, but eventually acts like, no, he's definitely dead. This is all that remains! Because let's face it, yeah, that is pretty much all that remains of Anakin. Because basically, after what happens to Revenge of the Sith, pretty much all of Anakin basically ends up burning away, and we're just left with this rotting corpse. So, because basically, all the beta suit is just a life support system. So, in a way, yeah, Anakin technically is dead, but not really dead. It's complicated. It's complicated. You kind of need to watch the whole Skywalker saga to basically get your head around that. But yeah. But here's basically what Obi-Wan now finally accepts. Well, actually, okay, fair enough. My old friend Riri is dead, and walks away. But not before delivering the punch love. Goodbye, Darth. I bet there are a lot of Sith diehards out there going, well, actually, Darth's not a name. It's a title, Obi-Wan, but let's not go there either. Right. So that is Obi-Wan's part. now let's move on to Reva. Now, I still, even at the end of this, I'm still not sure. Does she know? Does she not know? Does she know? Does she not know? Does she not know? Because that's how we ended the last episode. We ended the last episode with basically, after having to pick up our drawers up from all the shock that she was giving us, we had to go, well, does she now know? Does she not know? Does she now know? Does she not know? Does she now know? Does she not know? I'm still thinking that. Because I'm like, I'm not really too sure. But I suppose you kind of have to go, well, she must know. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done what she was trying to do. Because you wouldn't try and do what Reva tried to do if you didn't actually know. So, she's got to know. But that also means she's got to know that Layla is also... it's all bloody confusing! Oh, God. This is all confusing me. It does a good... Right. This episode finale, it does a good job of tying up the loose ends in that leading to A New Hope, and it also wraps the storylines up. But I'm also left with with a lot of questions, and they all involve Reva. And one of them is, of course, will I ever see her again? Hold on to that for a second. But here I'm thinking, well, does she know? She's got... I mean, right. Here's what I'm prepared to accept. She must know, otherwise she wouldn't have done what she did. If she didn't know, then it just basically looks like she's just attacking some random family. So, she has to sort of know. But they haven't actually confirmed she does know. Oh my god. Should we just go on to her in the story? In this part? Let's just do that, because we'll be here all night. We'll literally work ourselves into a stinker. Oh, right. So, Reva's gone to Satanui, basically, to commit cold-blooded murder. Because she thinks the best way to avenge my fellow younglings that got murdered in the Jedi Temple on the night of Order 66 is by going and kill the living child of my former boss. Yeah, and Briley finds them quite easily. Really well done there. And obviously it happens, as Brie works out, she'll come during the night. Yeah, that happens. But it also means, what's going on? What's happening? We can't see anything! But what I quite like about this is how Owen and Beru really prove they're just more than just simple farmers. They actually know how to put up a fight. And basically, Luke runs off because they basically tell you, you got to run away. They come with this little cover story, and he buys it so well, he actually just really does. But obviously, Reva still to get past Owen and Beru. Goes after Luke, way out into the desert. And right, I don't really know what happened here because like I say, it was too dark. Here's the problem, because obviously Luke, when Reva spots him, is unconscious, but because it was so dark, we don't know how it happened. All I could make out was there were screams, and you kind of and realises Luke's in trouble and has to go and intercept. That's all I could pick out. And then next thing I know, here's Reva. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it! The lightsaber's ready. Oh my god, she's gonna do it! And then, of course, doesn't do it. Right. We all know, this is the right, for me, this is the hardest part watching this episode. We all knew, and I said this at the end of last week, we all knew that continuity had to win the day. The canon nerds who are obsessed with canon, you were going to be the only victors of this episode. Continuity had to win the day. So we knew that obviously there was no way Luke was going to end up lightsaber to the chest. But, and this is what I've been saying about the entire series, and what I've been loving about this series, about how there is still that element of jeopardy there, even though you know most of the characters have to survive. There was a moment there where you actually think, oh, could she, is she good, is she good, the lightsaber, it's Rey, is she good, is she do it? Doesn't do it. But what's quite brilliant is you don't see her literally sort of, I don't know, maybe put the lightsaber down or throw it in scream agony. You don't see it. Because you see her raise it, and you think, oh my gosh, she's going to do it, she's going to do it. She's gonna kill the defenseless child in cold blood. He's even unconscious. Then, let's start this blood-curdling scream, and then it cuts away. And you think, oh, she don't want to. Has she? Obi-Wan finds Owen Baru. Has she? And then, no. Now, a lot of people the diehards will go there. Of course, she didn't do it, but for us to know that she caused something to jeopardy, let us have our moment, please. Let us have our moment. Okay? It's not long left to go. Just let us have this moment. Of course it doesn't. Be interesting to see how that played out, but nope, didn't. And thank God it didn't, because obviously that would have been a nasty ending for our poor Reva, who brings him back to the family, and you just basically, oh, you see her broken. Oh, now I've been loving Reva. I've sung her praises throughout the entire series. Parts 1 and 2, I wasn't sure at first, but then by part 3, she had me sold. The fact that in part 3, how she was able to find the past network of tunnels all her own, and without even being sent out to do it, to go and fight you. Because remember, in part 3, the Inquisitor was kind of there to basically just to ensure that nobody interfered with Lord Vader. They were supposed to be act as bodyguards. They weren't supposed to go exploring. But Reva can't be who she is, can't help herself. She went off and actually vanished past. I thought, brilliant. And I have been saying she needs to have her own series. I want Reva to have her own series. I'd love it. I really would love it. So you see her. Oh, she's so broken. Because she couldn't do it. And she feels on her felt and all and everything. But actually, it's Obi-Wan has to come in and be like, well, actually, no. On the other hand, no. I think you're fine. What has happened here is she actually, by being able to show mercy, what you've done is you've gave them peace and you've honored them. It also means you've now freed yourself, and you now and now what happens to you next is now basically up to you. You're basically free to get your own series. Of course he didn't say that! But in my head I was thinking, well, she's free. She can now do what she wants. She can maybe get her own show. Couple of seasons. And, you know, a proper show. Not a limited series, a proper show. Where you get at least a couple of seasons in the bag. You can see, yeah. Maybe. Because, and actually, they do plant the seed. They do alright, now, hang on with me here. Because they do sort of plant the seed of the possibility, well, Reva can have her own show now. Because I've been saying, when I've been mentioning, I'm saying that Reva should get her own series, I've never gone any further than that, because I don't think, because obviously this is not the right time and place to do it. And also because I wasn't too sure what I'd want to see. But I've got two ideas. You can either do set it before the events of Obi-Wan, so we see where she got to get to the point where we get to meet her the first time, or we could do it as a post Obi-Wan thing, and so you see what becomes of her after the events of the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So 2 ideas there to spin on. I'd be happy to see either one. I just want to see her again, because I'm absolutely loved Reva. Took me up to part 3, but once I got on board, I was like, go girl. As a song of praises all the way through to the end. I actually would love to have for her to have her own series. If you were to push me on to say what for definite, to give you a definite answer of what type, I probably would maybe go post Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because I think we've got a good idea of how it was like for her pre-Obi-Wan Kenobi last week. That would be nice, but we've kind of got that. And plus, I think Star Wars is maybe doing a bit too many prequel series right now, aren't they? Because we've had Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is great. We've got Andor coming up. Now that's going to be a prequel series, again, where you kind of know what's going to happen to the central character. Spoiler alert. Yeah. But that's because you haven't seen Rogue One. Sorry, but it's not a pretty film, Rogue One. It's not a pretty film, but yeah. So maybe can we maybe not do another prequel series? We've done another prequel series. Let's have something new, brand new. So by that we need to have a series where Reva post Obi-Wan Kenobi to see what she gets up to. Gets up to that, yeah. So there you go. So she's free, and he also says that both of them are free, and by that is basically Obi-Wan Kenobi being able to finally let go of all the trauma he's experienced of the past, all the mental prequels that's been haunting him and sort of plaguing him throughout the entire series. He's now finally able to let that go. So both he and Reva are finally free. Oh. Right, so now we get to the end part. Now this is basically just tying up loose ends. The first of those loose ends is Vader. Because Vader's pretty much spent the entire series going on an own personal vendetta, despite the fact that he serves the Empire. Because remember, he's not the head honcho here. He's been doing his own personal vendetta, and it has actually come to a cost to the Empire. Okay, maybe the loss of a couple of stormtroopers, but in a way, it has come at a cost to the Empire. And so, lo and behold, right, this episode gives us 2 cameos, and I recommend if you have not watched the episode yet, please stop now. Okay? Because I'm not being whole responsible here. You've chosen to come and watch the episode. This episode. So whether you've seen it or not already, it's your choice. Right. So we've got 2 massive cameos. One of them didn't see coming. The other, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was coming. You weren't fooling me. We all knew it was coming. Even if Liam Neeson did say, no, I know nothing. No, we all knew. We all knew it was coming. But anyway, let's get to the first one. So our first cameo, which I did not see coming, is we have Emperor Palpatine. Because remember, it's set before the events of A New Hope, so it's plausible. And he basically communicates with Vader and is sort of questioning Lord Vader's motives here. Yeah, he's sort of like Vader himself is being haunted by his own past, which he clearly has not been able to let go, as Obi-Wan was unable to let go until this moment in the series. So I think Palpatine can sort of sense it. Can sort of sense that maybe Vader's sort of lost focus on what we're really doing here. Vader's going to do his own thing. But of course, eventually, does pledge his allegiance to the Empire and obviously to Emperor Palpatine. So that then explains why Vader doesn't really do much in trying to go after Kenobi again. And before New Hope. The next loose end to tie in is Leia, because obviously in A New Hope she sends Leia. No, sorry. She sends Leia. No, sorry. Try again. In A New Hope, Leia sends Obi-Wan a message, and the message I can't remember it word by word, but she basically says, "You served my father all those years ago." Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, there's no mention of about and do you remember when I was 10 years old and I got kidnapped by some scary Inquisitor lady who then became our friend? Do you remember that? Yeah. Doesn't call. Now, of course, that doesn't get mentioned. Well, of course, here's the reason why. Not because none of us were around in the 1970s, but because nobody can know we met. I love this little scene where she's back home. She's got herself dressed and everything. Mummy walks in, and the first thing Mummy spots is the holster. Because that's Tala's holster, which Kenobi gave to her before they went their separate ways. Oh, I just thought, as a parent, you'd be proud that your 10-year-old's now managed to get us all dressed up and looking all prim and proper. Nope! It's like, is that a holster? Oh, thank God! Thank God the holster was empty, because I don't even imagine what Mummy would have said if the holster had a gun in it. But, oh, dear. But she loves it, but Oh dear. So, they then go basically from Obi-Wan Kenobi, basically to bring back Lola, and also to basically, and basically have a little catch up with, Sentinel and all that. And then here comes the tie of the loose end. He and Lola have one little chat. And of course he questions, will we see you again? And he goes, well, maybe you need an old man. So that hint, 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 hint. Next time you see me, I'm not gonna look like you McGregor. I'm gonna look like Alex McGuinness. So little hint, 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 hint. But of course, no one must know, otherwise it could have great consequences. So that ties up that loose end. So those of you who watched on New Hope go, hang on, why are they acting like they don't really know each other? Well, because they've got to pretend they don't know each other, otherwise it could have great consequences. So that ties that loose end up. And there's one more thing to come, because after he says goodbye to them, heads to Tatanui, to basically resolve this little issue with Owen about, should Luke be made trained or should he not? And basically agrees, well, actually, we'll do it your way, Owen. We'll let him have a regular childhood. And so that gives Owen the chance to be, basically approved Kenobi meeting the boy. Now, when I was watching this scene, I was trying to think, is this breaking canon? Is it not? Is it not? Because obviously I don't remember, I'm not really a big fan of the original. The only film trilogy I love from in the Skywalker saga is the prequels. I have seen all the others at least once, but the prequels are the ones I keep coming back to because I love them so much. So, I can't remember. Now, for those of you who've watched New Hope, you might need to help me here. I can't remember if when Luke meets Obi-Wan Kenobi in New Hope. I can't remember. Does he remember meeting him before he went or not? So, yeah. But hey, at least get Obi-Wan Kenobi the chance to do his little hello there. And it's like, yeah! If we were in a cinema, you'd have literally uproars, everyone clapping, because that's so iconic. You would. If we were watching this in our cinemas, if this was a film, you would literally have everyone, including going like, yay! Get it! It's just so iconic. It really, truly is. My favourite one of it is when in Revenge of the Sith, he literally jumps down to surprise Gerald Grievous, literally the hello there! That's my favourite one of it. I'll ask about a clip of it so I can link it into the description so you guys have to go and find one. But brilliant. And so we then end it with the second surprise camo, although it's not really a surprise, is it? Because eventually Obi-Wan continues to, after he's met Luke, we don't get to see it in full, which is probably best because the canon nerds may go on a frenzy attack. So then after that, Obi-Wan ventures in the desert, and then, now, having managed to now find inner peace, he's able to converse with the Force ghosts of Qui-Gon. And it's like, we knew it's coming! Right. Throughout the entire series, Obi-Wan has been constantly trying, and you've seen it throughout each episode, you've got to go back and try and point them out. But, that could be a little task you all to do now the series is out in full. Go back, watch it all, and try and spot the moments where Obi-Wan tries to commune with Qui-Gon. That's a little task for you. Go! Not yet! Because it's not finished yet, but when this is over, go do that. See how you get on. So, come on. You can't have Obi-Wan spend the entire series trying to communicate with his old master from beyond the grave and not have his Force Ghost turn up at some point. And so for me, I was like, knew it. Knew it was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen. But obviously, if he didn't work it out, then obviously lovely, nice surprise. But if he did like me work it out, I was like, well, oh, you didn't fool me. And that's how it basically ends. Oh, and so yeah. So really what this finale does is it wraps it up as a whole. So now, because I was watching this and I was like, oh, I'd love there to be more. Because obviously I do love Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's my favourite Star Wars character and all that. would love more. But if we don't get more, then brilliant work, and you've managed to wrap it up as a whole. Because all the plot holes and plot threads that it was laying out regarding continuity and canon, they now all got resolved. And the storylines that this had been creating, so obviously Reva's massive storyline, that got that's not really been resolved. It's kind of come to a conclusion. It's come to a conclusion. So the storyline for this story, that's come to an end, but also at the same time sets up the possibility for a new story, which hopefully we can one day explore. Hopefully. Got it crossed for you, Reva. Got everything crossed for you, hopefully. And also Obi-Wan's story in this about deal with the Troll Boys pattern, that's now finally resolved. He's finally now to let go. Okay, in peace. So yeah. So the whole in terms of this episode, I thought it was good. Obviously, well, for what I could have seen of it was good, because a lot of it we spent in darkness. So you basically like to basically sort of guesswork. So all you have to script like, I think maybe something might have happened there. Someone's just got buried by boulders. Don't think the lights worked out the lighting for that episode there, really didn't, but all in good. And it was nice because in a way you got an ending, and you now know that everyone's now on their respective paths to lead into the events of New Hope and everything. But they could maybe come with a way to maybe can carry on and want to do another. Oh, this is me doing wishful, hopeful thinking. Right, so very quickly before we go, let's just do very quickly final thoughts of the series as a whole. I was literally so excited for this. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favourite character. Loved Ewan McGregor's portrayal in the prequels. I was just so excited. And literally from the word go, so from our double bill premiere night we got back, I was literally hooked in, line sinker, and it's like, give me more. I actually was loving it. For me, I think there hasn't been a letdown. Not what normally in a TV series, whether it's a limited series or it's not a limited series. There's normally a couple of episodes where it just sort of lags and brings it down a bit. I didn't think we got that. I mean, yeah, we got a quiet episode in terms of part 4, but like I said, we needed a quiet episode. We needed a breather because we've literally had most of the time we've had so much action after action. We needed a breather moment, and I just felt when we got to episode 4, I felt if we're going to have a breather, it had to be this episode or not at all. Because chances are episode 5, parts 5 and 6 were literally going to be blockbusters, and oh my god, were they blockbusters. I mean, I'm still reading out of part 5 last week. I still can't believe all those shocks and revelations. I mean, my jaw's still not coming off the floor. It's just, wow, you literally knocked me to 60 there. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Loved the introduction of these new characters. Of course, Reva stood out the most, and I really loved her. Still pray and hope she gets her own series, because I think she deserves one. And also, in a way, they have now set it up for her to come back. She could come back in anything. She could have her own series, could maybe come back in other stuff, set before New Hope. It's brilliant, because there were plenty of times throughout this series, wasn't there, where you thought, oh my god, they're going to maybe bunker off. And I'm like, please don't do that. Please don't. We're hoping she gets her own series here. But thankfully, I said it, she was going to be here for the long haul. To all you Reva haters out there, I said it, she was going to be here for the long haul. She was going to make it all the way through the whole 6. Whether she was going to survive after all 6, that I couldn't tell. But of course, now we can, and I'm like, yes! Literally, I was like, because literally, when I was watching this, I was not safe, thinking, because there's a possibility she might end up being down and out, but it would have been in self-defense. What? Because somebody might have saw her try and take down Luke and could have gone take her down. But nope, that didn't happen. I'm like, yes, yes. Brilliant there for Reva. And because anyway, she gets to be redeemed in the end. It's like, yes. So these two cast been great. Tyler was great, although she really did have a bit of a she was borrowed, wasn't he? Tyler, I think, was more of a supporting hat. She was there kind of a plot purpose, you know, and once she basically served a purpose, that was it. Killer. And actually, in part 5, I did see that coming, because obviously at the end of part 4, her cupboard got blown. And whenever I watch these kind of shows on films, I think, whenever someone's cupboard's been blown as a mole, chances are, the next time we see them, they are going to end up dead. And, lo and behold, that is what happened. That is what happens. But a lot of people being going, oh no, why did you kill Tyler? Well, I was like, well, sorry folks, it was coming. It was going to come, one way or another. Because that's the risk you take. You're going to go deep undercover in enemy territory. Yeah, but she was great. Although, sadly, had to be pulled off with a Gregor. But hey, if you had to ask me, out of these new characters, who do you want to survive at the end, Reva or Tyler? Sorry, I'm saying Reva every single bloody time. So, The story was very good as a whole, it really was. Because, it did get me wondering before we started, thinking, what's going to make Obi-Wan come out of exile? What is it? What is it? And of course, after the first part, it was obvious. It's to go and rescue Layla. And the story, and even though we had to do that the long way round, it was not too bad. Yeah, the story was really, really great as well. So I've absolutely loved it. I've loved every single moment of it. I honestly, hand on heart, I honestly would love there to be more, but at the same time, I'm not expecting more. I went into this thinking, okay, we've got D6, it's going to be great to see Obi-Wan again, and then that's it, we're off, that's it. I was not going into this, I was not expecting there to be more, and as the series was progressing, and it was doing really well. Still was not expecting there to be more, and here we are now, you know, at the end of the series. I'm still, even though hand on heart, I'd love to see more. I don't think we are gonna get more. I think this is probably gonna be it. It probably will. As much as we would love to have more of it, this probably will be just a limited series. Because I feel it's done what this series is gonna do. They're gonna give you a beginning, they're gonna give you a middle, and they're gonna give you an end. And that's what we've got. And what I felt in this part, the finale here, I kind of felt it did that. It did basically tie everything up in a nice ribbon and nice blue ribbon. Obviously, I could have picked different colours. I thought going Obi-Wan's lightsaber, so nice. So yeah, so everything got all tied in a nice blue ribbon. So anyway, for me, I thought, well, there we go. It's the end now. Of course, would love there to be more, but if this is just it, I'm okay with it. Yeah. And just keep on fighting to get Reva her own show. But it could happen. The seed was planted. Okay? The seed got planted. Because not only did she survive, she's still alive and kicking, but also it's kind of like, well, everyone's saying, well, basically you're free now. You can go and do whatever you want. What you choose to do next is up to you. And that, to me, is planting the seed for her to maybe one day get her own show. So I'm holding out her. I think we'll have a series on Reva. Just We can all live in hope. But yeah, but I really have loved this series. It's been absolutely amazing. I've really loved it. I just really have. It's been brilliant. I'd love more. You did exactly what you want me to do with any good film and TV show. You left me wanting more. But whilst I'm not expecting there to be more, it would be lovely if there was more. That'd be lovely. But if there isn't more, then I'm happy with what we were given across these 6 episodes. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. It's today. If you've loved the show, then do click the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, come and click the subscribe button. And that way you'll never miss a single moment when you come on the show. Continue to the plus the mouse. We will be back with more Star Wars content. Because obviously there's more. Because obviously this is now giving me the kick to get in. I am going to be watching Andor, so we might do plus massives on that. And we'll see. So yeah, well, I must leave you for now, my dear Padawans. This is not the end of Star Wars content on this channel or the brand. Trust me, okay? But for now, I must say to all my fellow Padawans out there, may the Force be with you.